So you can start, Deborah.
Okay. First of all, good morning, everybody. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So today my presentation is going to be on the real MVP. And for my sports fans, I know the first thing that comes to mind when someone says MVP is most valuable player. But when it comes to product development, minimum viable products is your most valuable player. So I'm just going to run you through what it is, why you need it to begin with, and how you can build on. So,
Sorry, Deborah, can you put it on slideshow so we can see your screen?
okay. Yeah. So it's going to, here we are. Okay. So what is an MVP? As I said, MVP translates to minimum viable product, and it is a simple product with enough features to attract early stage customers and to validate your product idea. So what you want to do with an MVP is you want to put a small part or a simple version of your big idea into the market so you can attract those early stage people that are going to start with you, that are going to give you feedback, that's going to help to iterate. And the term MVP or minimum viable product was coined by Frank Robinson, and it was popularized by Eric Ries, that's the founder of Lean Startup Methodology. And the concept of MVP is aimed at stressing the importance of learning in product development or in product life cycle. And the pyramid of creating MVPs is the first level of that pyramid is functionality. Then you want to start, then you want to go up with reliability, usability, UX, and design. But a lot of people make mistakes when building their MVP. They want to start with, okay, let's just build something that is functional. And yeah, it seems like it's an idea that makes sense. But what you want to do, how to build a perfect MVP, is to take a little bit of these elements. You want to take a little bit of functionality, a little bit of reliability. You want your app to be usable. You want it to be, or your website, you want it to have user experience, design. You just want to take little bits of all these things. The idea is building something that is simple but not crappy, something people can use and will like using, but simple enough for you to build at that beginning stage. Then why would you even bother building an MVP? Why not just build your big idea, put the entire thing together? Yes, take more time and resources, but yeah, put your big idea out there. The reason why you don't want to just jump steps is because why you want to start small is building an MVP will allow you to release a product to the market as quickly as possible. Time is essential in product development, and it's going to save you the resources because you're going to need a large budget. If you want to just put the big idea out there once, it's going to take a large budget. So, say for startup founders that are starting small, what you want is something small that your budget can work around and your small team can be able to work on it and provide something that is usable, that makes sense, that looks good. And MVPs create a feedback loop between you and your users, between you and your early stage users. So when you put out an MVP, people will use it. And then you have different types of people use this thing and they have their own different experiences with it. So they can come back and tell you, oh, I used the app, or I used the website, or I used this, and it wasn't really, it was good though, but I would like to see this, I would like to see that. And you can take all that information and use it to iterate, which is so important. And my favorite thing about MVPs is they transform your product into a community-driven one. And in today's ecosystem, we cannot stress enough the importance of community-driven projects. People want to be part of something. They want to be part of your process. But it's just in human nature too. We have FOMO, fear of missing out. So I want to be able to say 20 years from now, when that product is so big, I want to be able to say, oh, when it was just this tiny thing, I was part of the process. And you cannot deny how that makes a product marketable. So the next thing I want to talk about is rules of the game. Okay, say my idea is to build a product that takes people from point A to point B. Now, the the quickest thing that comes to mind that I'll be able to do that is a car. So let's say my idea is to build a car to take people from point A to point B. Now, if I want to build a minimum viable product, for some people, the first thing they'll think, okay, let's build a tire. But that doesn't make any sense. The tire won't take you from point A to point B. So you want to start small and say, okay, let's build a skateboard. That will take us from point A to point B. But it's simple, it's quick to build. It doesn't take that much money or resources or that large of a team to build. So you want to just like that keep upgrading from a skateboard to maybe a bicycle to a motorcycle, then to a car. So, and the thing is, you'll be getting ideas and feedbacks and using that to iterate. So, the final product might even be an electric car, a flying car at the end of the day, even though your initial idea was a car. So, with the information you get, you're able to iterate and make an even better product than you first imagined. And processes in creating an MVP. The processes in creating an MVP that you cannot negate is the first process I would say is ideation. And this is when your initial idea is broken down, your deliverables are stated. And when you do this, you are able to filter what you don't need and take in what you do need. So you want to sit down with your team, you want to break the idea, you want to be able to take criticism. So ideation is such an important process in MVP creation. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to build. That's where the MVP comes in. And you want to build that simplified version of the product, something that can be designed and built in a short period of time and with a small team, but at the same time isn't crappy, simple. Then the next step is learn. As we said, the entire idea of MVP is to stress the importance of learning in product development. So you want to take the data and feedback you collected from your early stage users, and you want to learn from that. You want to learn what you did wrong and what you can do better. And then the last step is iteration. You want to be able to iterate. It's not just, oh, I know what I did wrong, or I know what I could have done better. It's to be able to take that information and make something better with it. Okay, so you want to be able to make adjustments, improvements. That's why you learn to begin with. So those are the processes in MVP creation. Then what I call the cycle of MVP is, or minimum viable product, is build, measure, learn, and build again. You want to be able to do this. When you build, that's the simple version, you build a simple version, you get information, or you over time measure how your users are using the product and the experience they are having, and you learn from that data that you collected, and you go back again and add to the original product or the original MVP. That's the revised version. So you are building again, and you're just it's a cycle of building, learning, measuring, and just building again what you've learned. And okay, a lot of us would have heard of prototypes. I think that's more common than MVP in our everyday life. But what is the difference between an MVP and a prototype? Now, a prototype is an early sample or model of a product that is being built to be released to the public. And it is generally used to evaluate the new design and to make adjustments. But the major difference between an MVP and a prototype is prototyping deals more with UI UX. It allows you, the person that is building this product, to be able to visualize your idea in a more realistic manner. Now, it's not just in your head. It's something you can hold, you can touch, you can use. But it's just for you that is building it to be able to look at, or your team to be able to look at and visualize what the actual thing will look like. Why MVP is the simplest usable version of that product that is going into the market. So the major difference is why prototype stays within the team and allows the team to learn more about the product and make adjustments. MVPs go into the market, and it's not just you that is giving the feedback, or your team that is giving the feedback. It's the users, the actual human beings that are going to use your product that are giving you the feedback. So I would advise everybody, if you are trying to develop a product or an idea, you should go more with an MVP, because there's a difference between what you think about your product and what other people will think about your product. So what you need isn't what you think about the product, it's what people think about it, because that's who you're selling to. You're not selling to yourself or your team, you're selling to users. Okay, then I just want to give us a little bit of visual aid of the difference between MVPs, prototype, and the product. So say my idea is a donut with sprinkles on top. A prototype of that would be if I sketched it down, maybe did a little bit of design or Figma or whatever design tool I like using, And I drawed how maybe I want chocolate to just drip on the donuts before I sprinkle my sprinkles on it. So it's been me just drawing that and showing to people that this is the idea. Then a minimum viable product would be, okay, my idea is donut with sprinkles on it, but let's start with just the donuts first. Let's put that into the market and see what people think and get their feedback of what they would like on their donuts. Now, from doing that, somebody might say, oh, I don't just want sprinkles on it. I want strawberry cream on it. I want this on it. I want that on it. And I can take all that information, learn and build an even better product than the initial idea I had. So that's the main difference between minimum viable product and prototype. So I'll take a case study with Twitter. Now, a lot of us use Twitter, so we know a little more about, we've been using the app for a long time, I want to believe. So we know a little bit about that, but what some of us might not know is Twitter started in 2006 when a podcasting company wanted to reinvent themselves. And Jack Dorsey, that's the founder of Twitter, thought, okay, how about this idea? How about we make a messaging service where people in a small group can communicate between themselves, share their idea, what they think, and all of that, just be able to communicate in a small group. That was the initial idea. So he created a site. Just the site is very simple something. If you can see my screen, you see the first version of Twitter, and it looks, by our standards now, it looks crappy. It doesn't look like something we would want to use. It doesn't look like the Twitter we know today. But it started small, and they were able to learn. They were able to create this simple site where people could just post their status, post what they were doing for the day, just simple things like that. But with time, they were able to learn from the market, learn from the people that were using this small, simple product, what they would like to see. And they were able to make improvements. And Twitter is what we know it to be today, which is an app where you can send people DMs, you can communicate in small groups if you want to. There's Twitter spaces where people can just come together and share ideas and share their opinions. Sorry about that. And Twitter is what it is today because they started small, learned about the market, and positioned themselves better and made iterations and adjustments based on the data they collected from users. So that will be all for now. So do we have any questions? So go ahead and ask. No questions? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Deborah.
Okay. The floor is open for questions, please. I'll just give a minute, and if no questions, I believe I will be asking.
So Deborah, you can go ahead and ask questions if no one.
Okay. I've said a lot in the last couple of minutes, but I'd just like to ask if anyone can tell me what an MVP is. Not just what the letters stand for, but what it is in your own words. Anybody wants to volunteer before I start calling people? Okay. Since no one wants to volunteer, I think I'll start mentioning names. Covenant, can you help me out here? What is an MVP?
Hello.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I didn't get that part.
Sorry?
I didn't get that part.
Okay. Anybody wants to help out? Victor, I believe you are here from the beginning, so can you help out? What is an MVP?
As boost. Yeah, basically, yeah, you said MVP is minimum viable product.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what you've said so far is like what I got so far is like MVP is really important, you know, to like save a lot of expenses, you know, like how you can improve on your product. I don't know if that makes sense. For example, you use the Twitter for an example. You talk about like you show us like a first slide which was about where, you know, looking at the site itself, it's kind of funny, like thinking of how it has evolved to what it is today. So, you know, like it's like saying that you learn from you improve by learning. Sure, you get like after the whole process, after they've seen that okay, this is what their users want, yeah, they keep improving till they get to where they are today. So basically that's how what I understand it to be.
Yeah, that's correct. Is there time for one more question?
Okay, yeah, just one more question.
Okay. What is the difference between a prototype and an MVP? Any volunteers? I don't want to call names, so people should please volunteer.
Can I?
Yeah.
Volunteer? Oh,
Okay. Let Covenant volunteer. Yeah, Covenant.
okay. So you explained that a prototype is a version of your product that you and you alone would use to be able to improve, while MVP is for the market's kind of a small part that you give to the market so that you can get feedback and improve on your product.
That's actually very good. The MVP lets you, prototype lets you and your team visualize what the product
Yeah.
will be by the
By using.
MVP. Victor, do you have a different take?
No, like it's still the same thing though. Yeah, you just when you're talking about it, yeah, I think you talked about the prototype being like the visual that you said that people use Figma and you show us a drawing of something that looks like donuts. Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
so that's it.
Okay. Thank you very